This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian. Mission to
Hey, it's Friday night, guys. How do you feel? Everyone feels great,
feeling
right? Had a great week.
Awesome. Awful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awfully awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're doing a
Denny
thing
pick.
that we're doing.
A Denny
well,
pick.
it's a
Thanks,
it's a
Denny.
bonus
Denny pick.
movie.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, Denny.
If I tells you we're watching an A24 film based on critics' reviews and not the audience reviews, you'll do it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my Willem
and,
Dafoe.
and it's fine.
And it's okay.
And you'll do it and you'll like it because I says you will. Yeah.
That's right.
A24. I somehow
Yes.
made myself hoarse, even though that impersonation was terrible. Give me a second.
Okay, let's recover.
Well, it's not
Sorry,
easy
you
being a
gotta-
voice actor, right?
So we are watching a critically reviewed A24 movie. It's got like an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. The commercials looked cool. Do we want to do the Zoom thing again, TC? How was that? Was that easy to edit?
I think we
do.
do. Oh, yeah, we definitely want to do that real quick. Let me
Okay,
just turn
so let's
this
bring
up.
that shit up.
Yeah.
So we can do a quick little review here, 15 seconds, spoiler-free reviews before we dive into what we thought about Love Lies Bleeding,
Yep.
the Rose Glass movie. So we're doing 20 seconds today. Look at that. You can lower it down. You can lower mine to 8 seconds.
Ooh, wow.
I want to lower mine to 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
record. All right.
8 seconds.
All right. So
We got
We're
19
good.
seconds.
we got 19 seconds on the board, and that's just to give you a little buffer so you can get started at 15, We're going to do a
Okay.
little count-in. All right. Who's up first?
Who was the most positive here? Who thinks they're the most positive?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
I don't know.
What?
I don't
All right,
know.
I'll
go first. Go,
All right.
Denny.
Okay, ready?
All right.
And here we go.
All right, this movie feels like it wants to be the spiritual successor to Drive, and it comes close, but it doesn't really do it. It misses in a few key tonal parts, and there are a couple scenes that stand out, two specifically, that get weird, and I wish the whole movie was as weird as those two scenes. There you go. 19 seconds.
Wow, that was very nice.
Yeah.
I'll take the next one. I'll go ahead and go
Right.
next. I will say that I thought that it was interesting characters. You just the characters themselves were interesting, but the story didn't go so well, and then by the end I was over it with that weird shit. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like the weird shit.
No.
I wanted so much more of the weird shit.
I thought that was bizarre. And it just went
Yeah.
Anyways, ready, John?
Yeah.
Sure. So I thought a decent thriller with some good acting, and I liked the setting and the characters. And it wasn't like the best thing ever, but I went along for the ride. There's one weird decision at the end where I agree with you, Denny. I like the
know.
weird stuff, but it left me so confused. I was like, we're doing this now?
Is this supposed to be
Yeah, that
reality?
just-
I know,
weird.
and like, where did it come from? And all of a sudden, this they were building up to it, but not like this.
They kind of
right?
did. Like they showed her. All right, now we're in spoiler territory.
Yeah.
They showed her. Her muscles were bulging.
They
Yeah,
did, but that was believable. And then all of a sudden, it became this.
It wasn't
weird thing.
believable. She was like the Hulk, like the GIF you sent. She was like ripping her shirt open.
But at that point, though, they were leading us to believe it was the steroids. So there was like this tone where it was serious and it's about the drugs and not so much about supernatural powers. And then all of a
Well, it was
sudden,
always about the drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. But then all of a sudden, we're in this fucking
Right.
weird world, and then
thought-
she's a giant.
I agree. I
Out
was
of
with you,
nowhere.
TC. That was. I saw that as like that was a little bit exaggerated, but you got it. That it's like it's just
Yeah, no,
exaggerated.
it drove the point home.
Yeah,
She's enormous.
yeah, yeah.
We get
There
it.
were a couple
Yeah.
shots where like when she was in Dave Franco's apartment, I think, and it showed her, and she like they superimposed her in the room. She looked fucking like not just wide, but she looked tall. She looked way big for the inside of the room, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty fucking cool the way
Yeah,
that
but
is.
that was
that's-
like- I felt-
it's just different enough where I'm like, is she?
Oh really?
Digitally
I wasn't
inserted
catching
here?
that first time. It was because the end was so outrageous, and I just thought.
Oh,
I,
yeah, which
I
came
was
in
really
giant.
confused.
That was just-
When
I
it came
was
out
like-
of nowhere.
I was like,
You didn't see the foreshadow with Gulliver's
No.
Travelers
I
there,
guess
whatever
so,
the
but
fuck
no.
that thing is.
It just seemed like such a strange.
It told you. It told
All
you it
right,
was
yeah,
coming. Come on, guys.
I was not open minded.
There's a cartoon on the TV in the background.
I was
You
not
should've
paying
seen
attention.
that
I'm
shit and
not that.
expected
We're
it.
I
just
didn't
not-
make a connection.
We were not
Yeah.
an alert enough audience apparently to draw the connect the dots.
Right.
So when that hit us, the giant woman hit us across the face. It was just. I thought I was completely confused. Like, what? We're a superhero movie now. Now she has superpowers and she can transform into a big giant woman. And then there's the light scene. Kind of soft.
Yeah, and the weird walking through the clouds situation.
I like that shot.
What is this?
That was really cool.
Oh, and by the way, did you forget that she killed a few people and
and then we're back to but it seems like those two shots.
Also, if it's the drugs that make her big, why is Kristen Stewart big too? She's not shooting steroids, is she?
She was. I think because that's where she was getting them. Well,
maybe.
She had access to them. We know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. But then it just seems like those two shots were just inserted, and then you're back to normal. You're back to the way it ends. It's just like back the way they were. And
you're talking about the two shots where she's straddling Ed Harris, and when they're running in the clouds,
and then when they're all of a sudden dragging the body back to normal.
So that was
fucking weird.
One scene. There's another scene that was super, not realistic. The scene where she was at the contest. That scene where she vomits Kristen Stewart up.
Right. But there I was just I was thinking there we're hallucinating. She's so doped out.
She's so fucked
But
up.
that's what she was doing at the end too. I thought that was pretty clear.
No, I didn't catch it that this was from her perspective. I think that's what sort of messed me up.
Right.
Is I didn't.
I don't think it was.
I felt like
it was from
I didn't get
Kristen's.
Well, whose perspective was it when she was vomiting Kristen Stewart's, if not hers? Because she's the only one there.
Well, that was
we're
hers,
following
but at
her.
the end, it wasn't her anymore.
I thought it was hers too.
Yeah, I thought we were
because
following
they already kind of laid the
Kristen.
ground rules for all the weird shit. Was her perspective because she was on these drugs and doing too many of them.
I guess
and had the roid rage.
Somehow
and
it didn't work. That was hallucination on her part because the interactions, how Kristen was interacting with her, and it made it look like so.
I thought it was pretty clear because she was bigger when she killed Franco, and she was even bigger when she almost killed. The power she felt when she was about to kill Ed Harris and decided not to, and then also she felt great when she was escaping with Kristen Stewart. That was all her emotions. Her size directly was reflected in how she felt, powerful and free. I guess I don't know. I thought it was. I saw it.
I didn't catch.
I could be wrong, but
I think
what else could it be?
I don't know. I was just confused.
No, maybe you're right.
Maybe you're right. But that's sort of I mean,
TC, did you see in the Dave Franco scene that she was bigger after it was either
when
before or after
beat
she
him,
killed him?
Almost killed him.
Yeah, and they were in his house.
Dude, she's enormous. No matter which way
she
you look
was
at her.
even bigger in that scene.
I didn't notice. I just thought she was.
So maybe
coming.
maybe that one thing helped me a little more because there was a shot of her in a door frame and she was bigger. They took her character and they stretched it out 10 or 20% or whatever and just made her look like she was bigger than she should have been in the room or something. So I was like, oh shit, they're doing weird shit here too. So they slowly kind of built it up. I agree there wasn't enough to gradually do it. There was that one thing in Dave Franco's house, the one thing at the contest, and then the one thing at the end. And all three, one you couldn't notice, and then the last two were super fucking weird because it was so sharp of an increase.
It just wasn't. Yeah,
it just came out of nowhere.
To me, it did, and then it's okay, but
it's A24, man. Come on,
fine.
you're not expecting this shit.
Here's a question.
I had a good time watching it. I still had a good time. I thought,
that's good. I did too. Yeah.
Here's a question.
Good time.
If someone aimed a gun at you, shot it, and it didn't go off, would you still go out with them after?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'd be all awake and excited.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude,
Forgive and forget,
Yeah.
Some of this stuff was so unbelievable. I don't know.
You got to blame the roid rage. I had never thought of a movie,
and that's
the whole
what I
point of
thought
this movie
was
is
cool.
roid rage is bad.
And that's what I thought was cool was that it's a story you don't really think of or hear of. The story itself you've all heard before, but the thing that we're discussing I don't think comes up very often in movies, right?
No.
I've never seen it portrayed in any piece of media ever.
Not like
right?
this.
You hear roid rage.
Yeah, not like this.
Not ever. What other piece of television or movie?
Titan where the guy was doing drugs?
But he didn't get angry.
No.
He was kind of calm about it, right?
He was messed up. But yeah. But
he didn't punch anybody or
No.
He didn't lose
his
his shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we've all heard of roid rage since we were kids.
Sure.
But I've never thought about it, and I've never seen it.
Me either.
And you wouldn't think that it was common enough since it's not portrayed that it's actually worth portraying, but apparently it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you guys both talked about the characters in this movie.
I thought they were cool.
Go on.
Ed Harris was a great. He just plays such a, I don't know, that evil stare of his.
Could you get over their hair?
Down. No, his hair was ridiculous.
His hair was a little ridiculous, but I don't know.
I kind of liked how
trying
stupid
to match
it looked,
the
but at the same
80s style.
time,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
They could have made the mullets look a little more realistic. Like Dave Franco's hair and Ed Harris's hair looked kind of terrible.
Yeah, that's
in
fair.
a way where it was like so overdone that it
like we
felt
know
like
it's
it was
fake.
intentional.
Yeah. It is like
the two leads' hair looks great.
Yeah.
Like Kristen Stewart's and
that was some
Katie
good hair.
O'Brien's hair.
Yeah, that's again, Danny. That's what I wanted to talk about. I really wanted to talk about the hair.
Are you a perm man or a mullet man?
Oh,
Perm or mullet, John?
I'm team perm. I'm team perm.
Team perm.
Sure, yeah.
I think I might agree with that,
Yeah,
especially when it's rocked by somebody with shoulders that big. The way a perm sits on a jacked shoulder,
Beautiful.
It's just what
does it
Danny
for me.
loves.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's like it waves cascading over turbulent. Just beautiful.
And even more so if that shoulder is connected to an arm that is holding a gun. Let me tell you.
Oh man, you're all set.
It's
Movie of the year for me.
visual poetry.
So, I mean, I could keep asking you individual things. What is there to talk about this movie? It is
so
a
you're saying the
thriller.
characters. So look, let's
is
just
a
say
thriller.
that I like the setting. I like the sort of Kristen Stewart.
Did you understand?
Well-
Kristen Stewart, the acting was good in the
Yes.
two leads, but her character didn't really. She was just such a miserable, kind of crotchety
Well, but she
girl
had
that
like
there
she
was.
had,
It didn't seem like there was depth to her.
well,
at all,
but
didn't
I
think.
sort of like that. Like she had nothing. She had nowhere to go. Her life was shit, and she was stuck where she was trying to take care of her sister. I sort of liked it. It felt like it was like she was at a dead end, and I think that was portrayed well. And it was sort of, I don't know. I don't know if there can be much more depth to that, or she wouldn't because she's like numb, sort of. It's just like it's not like she's going to have some big dramatic moment about how shitty her life is. It's just like this is her life, and she's just going through it. And I thought that was kind of well done in the sense of like this is just. Her life is shit. She's struggling to get by. She's miserable. She's taking whatever advantage, whatever she can get from whoever or whatever. I don't know. I thought that was well done. I think it's like a different setting for this kind of a film, to have these kind of characters for her to, because you got to have it set up that she's going to fall in love. Like this person, like brings her, the other girl brings her like something out of life all of a sudden, some real pleasure. And that's why she falls for her, and it becomes so meaningful, even though it's so all fucked up. So I think you got to have this sense of this is somebody going nowhere, who's never going to get anywhere, who is just flat out miserable, and then somebody comes along, then she's in love, and it doesn't matter that she's going to point a gun at her and try to shoot her or whatever. It's just it's like this is her. Something is breaking her out of this horrible life that she's been in. I thought that was done quite well.
I can't disagree.
when you put it like that, John. Yeah.
But I like seeing Kristen Stewart. I haven't seen her in many things other than, she was the Twilight girl, right?
Are you admitting to watching the Twilight series, John?
I saw parts of it. I saw one of them, I think, and it was really awful. Really, really, really awful.
She's been in good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
I've seen her in like a couple things. She was good in Adventureland. She was good in was she in the zombie movie? No, she wasn't in the zombie movie. Was she in the zombie movie? I don't know what I'm talking about.
You just make things up. I don't know. I've seen her. She's been in stuff. I've seen her in stuff. I don't know.
Adventureland. That was a good one. Carnival workers,
Yeah.
But the setting is pretty, definitely 80s kind of trailer park setting.
Yeah.
It's pretty unique.
Yeah.
Albuquerque.
Oh, is that where it was? I somehow didn't catch it was Albuquerque.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I'm not sure
it seemed like it could have been Los Angeles a lot.
Yeah.
I expected more redness to the, like more sunsets and things like that in Albuquerque, but you just get
They did a lot of shooting at night.
Really nice looking sky.
I noticed.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know.
Probably because it's
the sun is
hot
just constantly
during the day.
setting in New Mexico.
Yeah, that's right. It's beautiful. I lived there for like a year. It was beautiful. You have these really beautiful sunsets and sunrises.
But then then it was freezing at night and hot as shit.
And in the middle of the day, you remember
That's the
you're
one
in the
issue.
desert.
Yeah. That's good. All right, what else can we scrounge here? I got a stick, and the barrel has an inch of water in it, and I am just dragging it across the bottom of the barrel. What else?
I don't know. There's not much to say, really.
Some of the action
gore
sequences
effects
were done well. That gore, Franco's
His face falling off.
That was
interesting.
pretty done. That was pretty well done. pretty nasty.
It was okay.
It was
I'm
quick.
watching The Boys now. I'm pretty desensitized to gore. The Boys
my
has some
God.
top-notch gore in the show, and James Franco's face looked good, but it looked CG. And
Is
some
it
of the
James
stuff in The
Franco?
Boys,
or
Dave.
Did I say James?
For a while,
You did
no, but
say
for a while, I
James.
thought I didn't know until I looked it up later that I didn't know. I was like, wow, this is a really unusual role for James Franco. This is really strange.
Nope,
Yeah,
not
that's
that
not
guy.
something he'd
Wrong
do.
guy.
I know.
That must
And
happen
his
to
head
him all
got
the
more
time.
square.
Yeah,
He's shorter, and his head is more square now. I don't know what happened. Maybe he had some
I
work
know. I
done.
didn't notice. Maybe he did. He's been gone for a while. But anyway, yeah.
I think James got me too'd, and Dave's still doing okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought some of the fight scenes or the tense scenes were pretty good. Some of the action scenes were they were decent. I mean, so there was some good tension there. In terms of the confrontations and the like until it kind of built up nicely, and then all of a sudden, giant woman. But
Yeah,
it built
it was
up
really
nicely
weird.
to that point, I thought, and
Yeah,
then
it did.
giant woman, and I was like,
I'd
what?
say the first half of the movie was pretty engaging. Like, this is gonna be good.
I just liked what they were
And
setting.
then at some point, I remember thinking to myself, couldn't they have just ended right now? Couldn't they have just ended right now?
could all
They could have
just
ended
packed up and
right
gone
now.
home.
Yeah, this could have been over already.
But then they wouldn't have got the
giant
funding
woman.
from A24. You got to have something
That's right.
that sticks out.
There's some A24 board that's like, this is good, but where's the weird? We
Yeah.
don't see the
There's
weird
zero
here.
weird in
Sorry,
this. Yeah.
we need to have
Probably
at least 5% weird. That's
It's
our
the
minimum.
brand.
It's probably
Right.
true.
That's right.
They need to be able to cut a trailer together to have those two shots stuck at the end in the trailer, so people think the movie is going to be like super quirky and
Yeah.
stuff. But then most of the movie is just like a straightforward murder thriller or whatever you want to
Yeah,
call
it's
it.
usually like
And then-
sexy murder thriller thing, except some of the settings the setting is a lot more run down, so it's not like high style or something like that. It's not like Basic Instinct or one of those things, but it has like it's kind of hitting that in that sort of like that's almost why it sort of feels like almost like I've seen this labeled as a black comedy, which I was not laughing. But
I was not laughing.
But the hairstyles or the style of it is sort of almost maybe just kind of poking fun.
Are
at
people
it, so I don't
laughing
know.
at rednecks? Is that what that is?
I don't. Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Don't you?
but they certainly.
I
think-
do.
I did think Ed Harris's hair was ridiculous.
That
I didn't like
was-
laugh out loud or
No,
anything.
it
but I was just
No.
like, that's silly.
He didn't need it.
That's
It
all.
would have been much
Well,
more.
I just thought it was
scary.
low budget.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
He didn't need it.
Apparently, he walked on set with that as a joke, and then the director's like, "Keep it."
I love it. Keep it. Really? You want me to keep
And
that?
he's like, "Seriously?
Yeah.
Shit,
This is a
That's
joke.
not good."
This is a
what kind of
joke.
movie am I in here? Oh, fuck, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't have to
right.
do much.
All right, I want you to hit me with the red light, black background. Hit me with
Ooh,
it.
red light would have
Full
been good.
on. Let's go.
Yeah, total
They did that.
crypt keeper thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah.
The first shot, I was like, "Crypt Keeper," right here.
Especially with the long hair. Could have just been.
It reminded me of
done the
Mandy
cackle.
too. Either of you ever watched the movie Mandy? Nicolas Cage.
No,
Of course, Nicolas
It
Cage.
got good
No, I
reviews,
have not.
right? I think they liked that
What do you
one.
mean? Of course, Nicolas Cage. Just because
It's
I've
you.
seen every single Nicolas Cage movie at least 5 times.
That's right.
What do you mean? Of course. Come
Because
on.
it's just like,
Right, of course.
what
That's
you would bring
one
up.
of your
Yeah.
numerous obsessions.
Well, Mandy
Right.
was one of the first movies I saw where it was black background, red light on face. And it happens quite a bit in that movie. It's kind of the style of the movie. And it happens in this movie too.
Huh.
So this movie rips off Mandy. Or, takes
Or the
influence
Crypt Keeper
from
and Mandy
whatever you
ripped
wanna-
off Tales from the Crypt.
I mean, it's a good combination.
Yeah.
What else?
I got
Scraping the
nothing,
bottom.
boys. This
Scraping the
movie
barrel.
wasn't, it wasn't good or bad. Really.
No,
it was
it
somewhere
was.
in the
It
middle.
was like it was like a good Friday night watch, or so. Like if you just, it's like a decent enough thriller and an interesting enough sort of like scenario, the place, and then you had the bodybuilding thing, which again, like you said, TC, haven't really,
It's interesting.
seen that,
Yeah, it
and
was.
So it
It was. And steroids, thinking about that. I mean, I guess that's cool.
As
Yeah.
a plot driver, like having roid
Yeah.
rage as a plot driver is pretty damn unique.
yeah.
Right? But then hallucinating
There's a lot of other things
in
people
flashbacks
use.
aren't. And they used a lot of those.
Yeah. But there's a lot of other reasons that like, people go on like violent rampages in movies. And it's, as far as I've
Not
seen,
typically steroids.
it's not
Right.
steroids.
No.
So that's like
Yeah,
a little
it's a good
twist.
Could add exacerbate things. I don't know.
Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, you know. You know.
What did Timmy think? Timmy would live in this neighborhood, I think.
That's right, Timmy.
Fuck that motherfucker up. I don't give a shit.
Timmy would run guns with Ed Harris.
That's right.
Timmy'd be dealing the steroids out. What do you want? I got it.
How you want? I got 50 fucking cats. What do you need?
Don't you think that Ed Harris would be like more rich and dressed nicer and all that stuff if he was like a crime lord running guns and stuff?
Not some hillbilly in the friggin' desert.
And like have a shitty gun range that's just like cinder blocks and
and
stuff.
like who's making money off a gun range?
That would have been more sinister.
Well, I guess it's
I think it's just that's
running the guns. That's where they run the guns.
Right.
That would have been a
That's
great.
where
That
they
would have been.
filter
That would have been a
it.
great
They clean it.
contrast, though, if he was more like stylized. Like,
Well, he did have a nice house.
Yes,
right?
he did have a nice.
He did have a nice house.
That's true.
And he
So
leaves the
maybe
door
just
open.
the hair. Maybe he just had it in
Got
a
the
nice
opera.
braid or something. It would have worked.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a Steven
nice
Seagal
rat tail.
type thing or something.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't have worked. A nice old ponytail, little man bun. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not getting any better with this.
No,
No, I know. Well,
there's no saving that wig,
Yeah.
whatever the hell that thing is.
Yeah, I don't know.
This will be an exercise in getting to 30 minutes, guys. We can do it. Let's get to 30
I would
minutes.
say that if you're going to tell people to watch this, that you know, be ready for some gore, be ready for some blood, be ready for some fucked up shit, be ready for some, you know,
Like
it's
a good
just in the
late-night
title,
thriller
right?
movie.
It literally is the title. It's a
you
good
got
title.
boobs. You got some lesbian sex in there. You know,
You got some lesbo sex.
where do we get that title
you do.
anyway? You know, that's
Yeah.
it's a great Elton John song.
Love Lies Bleeding. Yeah, it was good.
right?
Yeah.
But no, I don't know where there's no reference to that. You know, but I don't know. It's just
Yeah, I really hate when movies don't say the title of the
That's
movie
right.
in it because I get really confused
gotta
by
do that
that. I'm
at
like,
least
wait a minute, is this
twice,
movie
right?
over?
Yeah.
They didn't even say
I
the
guess
title.
Love lies.
fuck?
I guess there he is bleeding.
I guess love does lie bleeding. Oh, they added a does?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck
sucks.
you do. I don't know, but it just seems a strange title. Like I don't know.
But it's exactly what happens, right? Falls in love, bunch of
Yeah.
lies, and then people bleed.
I guess so. I guess love lies.
It's
bleeding.
kinda- yeah, it's
I
kinda-
don't know.
was there a scene
lies,
where
a different
Kristen
kind
Stewart-
of lies? I don't know. Yeah.
Was Kristen Stewart ever on the ground bleeding?
No.
Because then her love was on the ground bleeding
No.
lies.
But she never. The people she loved.
I
were
think she
never
probably
bleeding.
was. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say she was on the ground bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm pretty sure she was because she got her.
I don't know.
mouth
Maybe they should. If
hit
it would have
and she
been
was on the
love,
ground.
comma lies, comma bleeding, that would have been kind of better.
Oh, better for
Next
you.
time they should call you, John.
really
Yeah.
like emphasize 'cause
title.
I-
Yeah, the movie title grammar.
Punctuation
please.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then people will be annoyed and they have to say it. Have you seen Love, Lies, Bleeding?
Have you, excuse me, have you seen Love Lies Bleeding?
That's right.
John was there for the kiss, kiss, bang, bang for the comma and exclamation point.
That's right.
He's been fired and
they
exiled
They
from
flew
Hollywood ever
me
since.
in to work with them on that one. That was a 3-day affair.
You got to meet Val Kilmer
That's right.
and Robert Downey
And
Jr.
there- yes, it was awesome.
And then the movie did poorly because the title.
Not because of the
and then
title.
John has never, it's because
That's
the title,
not because
John.
of the
That's why-
title. I
And
could-
that's
That's
when
what
John
everyone
says.
never worked in Hollywood again.
Yeah. How do you get a movie that's pretty good and you have 2 stars not make money? I think it's because you put an exclamation point and a comma in the title, John. That's all I'm saying.
Just shut the fuck up right now.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Don't you tell me I don't know what to
You
do.
don't know punctuation, man. You don't even know. You don't know what you're talking about.
This is what we get for 30 minutes.
That's right.
We got 5 more minutes, guys. We got to keep
Wait,
going.
what? You saw her other
We
the
can do it.
director's other movie. What did you think of that? Was
Yeah,
it Saint Maud? Was it good?
Yeah. I didn't love it. I'm a big horror movie guy, and it was like when it came out. I think it came out in like 2018. It made a bunch of like year-end best horror movie lists, and those lists, I watched like 10 horror movies a year, and all of them in the top 10, and I like maybe one of them, sort of thing. You know, it's a hard genre to like because not too many of them are that good.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
It's pretty tough. It wasn't bad, but it was super slow, and it mostly wasn't a horror movie. And the ending, 2 minutes, got really weird.
Oh, like this
Just
one?
like this one.
Just like this
Someone
one.
get real
Yeah,
big?
It's like, hey, I don't know what to do next. We need a crazy ending.
That's
yeah.
right.
And it was about like a lesbian relationship, so that's kind of a common theme between her 2 movies. If you like horror, you might like it. I have a friend who did like it a lot, who also likes horror, so it's kind of like a crapshoot. That's kind of how
Yeah,
horror
there's horror
movies
is
go.
like that, right? There are some, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
But it is a slow art house type of horror movie.
which can be really
so-
good. Like if you do that slow burn and then go real nutso at the end.
Could be.
Pretty,
If you like relationship stuff, because it was mostly about relationships. This movie was at least like I was along for the ride. There was enough like tension and it wasn't exactly action, I would say, but I mean, it moved at enough of a clip where I was like engaged the whole time.
I agree. I
which is nice.
Totally agree. I agree. Like,
that's true.
Because being bored is the worst.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
I wouldn't say I was
like,
bored, so that's true.
I didn't dislike
Wasn't
this.
good, wasn't
this
bad.
Was like, it's like if somebody was like, oh, you're kind of interested in this premise, you should watch it. It's like it's a good film. It's
do you like steroids and do you like murder?
Who doesn't?
Love lies, comma, bleeding.
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. Out now.
That's right. I'm the one that got them to put the singing in too, and they went, but.
They had to
Little
cut
known
most of the
fact.
songs.
You know what?
Little known fact.
They brought me
They
in for the
didn't even credit
punctuation. I got him to do it. Guys, what this needs is a musical. And they're like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, trust me on this. You got to have some singing.
Well, speaking of music, the music stood out a couple times.
It did.
When she was murdering Dave Franco, there was like some weird beeping noises going on in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Really, it's very, very odd. Yeah, again, no Elton John whatsoever, but just some very odd, weird bands that I don't know, like the soundtrack looked interesting.
Were there actually bands?
I thought so.
It just sounded like it was trying to be Drive with like the synth music.
All right, so we got to watch Drive sooner or later
Fuck
for
yeah.
this.
Drive is amazing.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Drive
to
not in the
watch.
top
Yeah.
250.
I don't know, but
Let's watch that one. Let's watch that one next week.
Are you sure you don't want to watch the 3.5 hour long Seven Samurai next week, TC?
I want to see that one.
I want to say Drive.
Have you not
first.
seen Seven Samurai?
I
I've
did
not.
see Seven Samurai.
Oh,
I
you
liked
probably did.
Oh, John, you haven't?
Heck, no, I'm excited to see it.
In fact, one of my college projects was to cut a trailer for Seven Samurai.
Ooh,
as
can
an
we see it? Can you find it?
exercise. I
Do you
don't
have
know.
it?
It was on VHS.
Find it.
Oh,
I doubt
shit.
it.
That's
But it
all
was
I got.
back when you actually had to do the reel.
Hell yeah, dude,
reel.
that sucks.
So
Wait, how
old,
did you
I
do
got
that? You had to
so-
cut. It's a 3.5 hour long VHS. That must have taken forever to do.
No, because we would just pick the little
be three cassette
snippets.
tapes.
We would go through and we would just pick out little spots that we liked, and we had to make a little trailer that made sense, and then put some audio on it. It was like a
Oh,
whole
that's
thing.
fun. Check like if it's on
But
VHS.
how many?
were you
How many
actually clipping?
VHS?
Yeah, I just stole random clips, Denny. I wasn't thinking like let's
Okay,
just yeah
narratively or whatever. This is the best
Right.
part of the movie.
No,
Gotcha.
no.
That makes a lot more sense. You didn't
Yeah.
watch the whole thing and just make notes, and you're like, all right, we have to go back there and take that
Yep,
part because
that
that's really
one, that
important for
one.
the trailer.
That is exactly. It was more of the exercise than anything else. You know,
Okay.
find cool things, put it together in a way that makes sense.
The year 1959.
Yeah,
The place Japan.
The
theme,
samurai. Seven of them.
Swords. 7 of them. 1, he likes pepperoni pizza.
That's right.
2, he likes to wear sneakers, etc.
It was more like take an audio track and put the cut the video on top of it.
High school projects were fun. They were so
College.
bad.
College
college.
projects.
So you had to
Yeah.
like take it seriously. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Hey guys, we're at 30 minutes and
We did it?
37
Oh,
seconds. Look
it's
at us.
over.
Is that, but it's not
Nice.
counting TC's
job.
edits, but
Oh shit. Yeah. Well, we can buffer. I'll just talk really slow the rest of the time. How
nah,
about
that's
that?
right. That's all right. Don't worry, we're good.
Would you put
I
it
mean,
in the
there's
top
nothing to
250?
this one. No, I would not.
Nope. Didn't
No.
mind the recommendation though.
Yeah.
No, I mind it.
Not a bad
I mind it.
$6.
Oh, TC's angry.
You know, I
TC's
mind it.
pissed.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Just let that one simmer.
I didn't.
So
Drive next week.
Are we doing Drive next week?
Why not? We should do back to back. See how much better that is than this.
We can. I like Drive.
Well, it is better.
Well,
That's
yeah.
for damn sure. We've all seen it.
Ken himself. Also,
Unless you would prefer to do Seven
Well,
Samurai.
I don't mind.
In which
I'm
case
looking
we
forward
could
to
do
Seven Samurai. But
Yeah,
I
just
gotta
can
get to it
we can
at
also
some
do
point.
Drive, and I can start Seven Samurai, and watch like half of it.
That might be a good idea because it's 3.5 hours long. There's a commentary track and there's documentary. So maybe let's do that.
That buys you some
to
time.
pad out the episode of Seven Samurai, which might be a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Let's
We can
throw
prepare.
Drive in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give you more time.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
All
Nice.
right. That worked out great.
Everybody happy.
Yeah, good suggestion.
Yeah.
All right, I got nothing
right.
else.
Well, I got
All right,
nothing
guys.
else either because, don't
You're
take
welcome.
steroids.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah. Don't do steroids and maybe skip, killing people.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, less the second one, more the first one, I would say.
Yeah. All right, guys.
See you later.
See ya.
Talk to you later.